This looks like a bayang. And you look crooked. Hi. I hope you're doing well. We're pulling out the iPad today. This video is not like a planned video. I'm literally pulling out my notes right now because not too long ago I wrote down some content ideas of just things that I was thinking and feeling and wanted to share with you guys, but I never put like a timeline on them and, you know, set an expectation for myself to complete these videos. So here's one of them, and I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, I also hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you for even watching this video. I hope it's valuable. I hope it's helpful, motivational, inspirational. If you have any advice or any questions, feel free to comment them down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and let me know if you do like this type of content so I put more out. So first, let me give you a little background. My business right now I have is called Well Lived. We're going on a year, December 2024. And we are a wellness and lifestyle brand that promotes basically just how to live well through these certain tools like journaling, candles and self-care, community, things like that. So we're really just focused on the well-being, and I'm still learning as I go. Like, these are things that I'm practicing myself, but things I've also learned along the way. But that's a little bit about my business. Of course, the information will be down below, and I have other videos on it. But I want to just go over some things that, you know, I felt were important to me on my journey as a small business owner and entrepreneur. So the first thing is to do what works for you. So in terms of organization, when I first started this business, I was trying to do everything on my computer through like Notion, and I tried like Airtable and Excel and other things. Like, I would just see a lot of things, and I would have like all this stuff. I'd have all these templates, and I'd use all these models and everything. And for some people that's great. For others it might not work as much. It definitely does help, you know, just break down certain things, having models and, you know, certain folders and stuff on your computer. But I'm personally someone, I like to write things down. So I ended up like making this entire thing on Notion, and I do not look at it at all. I stopped using it a few months in, because it's simply just not for me. For others, people love it. People love Notion. People love, you know, Asana or whatever the heck. That was just a random one. People love anything and everything, and everyone's gonna just have different preferences. And so learn what yours are and be open to definitely exploring and seeing other ones. But it's okay to not do what other people are doing, especially when it comes to models. I think, you know, using them as an example or just having that framework in the back of your mind is helpful, but you don't have to stick to it if that's not something that your brain processes, because it could really just cause more stress and, you know, overconsumption of, okay, how do I actually do this? Because this doesn't feel right. And, you know, you might just be getting in your head about the whole thing when really you could simplify it and do what works for you. So just make sure that you understand that not everything that people give you or share with you, even this stuff, even the tips that I give you, it may not apply to you, you know, and that's okay. You take what works and leave what doesn't, or take what helps, leave what doesn't. But you definitely want to just focus on what works for you. And it is going to be a work in progress. And that's kind of the beauty of it. You do a lot of trial and error. And even being open to that is very important. Me personally, when it comes to organization, I do, like I said, I like to have my journal to write down ideas, and my iPad to write down ideas and plans and goals, just because I am someone that journals. I've journaled for years. But obviously when it comes to photos and, you know, passwords and stuff, I do like to have that online, like Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Photos. 10 out of 10 recommend Google Photos. Even for like your personal stuff, I love Google Photos. I don't pay for iCloud. I use Google Photos and I love it. I also use Trello and Preview when it comes to content. So Trello, use it in high school, so that's why I'm familiar with it, and it works for me. You literally just have lists, and you can name the lists, and you make little like folders and cards underneath those lists, and that's just how you kind of organize it. I use mine, like I said, for content. I have like, you know, something for email marketing, Instagram, and then I'll have in the little card a post with the caption and the image and labels to say if it's ready and the due date and stuff like that. And so that works for me when it comes to content and organizing. But like I said, other things work for other people, whether it's Planoly or later Notion, Milano, you know, like there's so many apps out there. There's so many ways to do different things. You just need to figure out what works for you and allow that to flow. Okay, number 2, this kind of goes with organization, but to take your finances seriously, and I feel like this is in every video you're going to watch when it comes to advice for entrepreneurs and small business owners, because it is so important. My first business, I did not care about finances because I was like, oh, this is just something that's fun. I love creating. I love this. Like, it's just amazing. And it was great. It was such a good experience. But I was bootstrapping. I was using my own money. And then when it comes down to like looking at my own finances and then even tax season, it's like, oh, well, it's all in my personal account. And I also did not keep any of the receipts. I did not separate them. You know, like it was a disaster. Thankfully, I like didn't even have a lot of like income and profit, so I didn't have to pay or anything like that. But also it wasn't, I actually did register it, but that's besides the point. Keep your finances, your business and personal finances separate. Even if you have to use your personal card for something for your business, mark that off as like a tax write-off for your business, because that is still part of your business, you know, you having to do that. One app that I use is called Found, and I've loved Found. I used this when I was freelancing, and this was super helpful because it's like you can have direct deposit, you can transfer, and then it also helps separate your taxes. So say you hire a contractor, you're buying materials for your products, you are driving somewhere, you know, do whatever the heck you have to do for your business, there's most likely a category for that, and you can insert the expense as well as the category, and it will calculate how much taxes you'll have to pay according to that and set it aside. So it's very helpful when it comes to tax season because you already have a document that has everything, all of your purchases, as long as you're consistent with it, all of your purchases and what it was and what category it falls under, and then you already have money set aside for how much you're likely to pay for taxes. So that was very helpful. I've always been someone, I don't hate doing taxes. Of course, I just hate the idea of them, but I don't hate doing them, and working with Found has been super helpful and stress-free. So I'm very grateful for that, and I can leave a link down below for Found so you guys can look into it if you are just getting started or just simply even doing research with finances in your business and you want to try something new. I think it's super helpful. You can also send invoices through there, which is great as well. But definitely keep your finances separate, please. Even if like I don't know. I ended up getting a business credit card this year because I knew I would have to really invest in this business for it to get to where I want to be. And so this was a starting point for me. And so I made sure I got a separate one and not, you know, I didn't use my personal ones, my personal finances, because I just want to keep the two completely separate, you know, when possible. The next one is to connect with people, whether it's online or at pop-ups. And I know not everyone does pop-up markets, which is why I also said online. Facebook groups are super helpful. LinkedIn, Instagram, does depend on where your market is. But even connecting with other small business owners, people who, you know, you may look up to, you know, follow them and stuff. But even again at pop-ups, if you do pop-ups, following those other small business owners to see like, okay, you know, where else are they going for pop-ups? You know, where, you know, are there any opportunities for me to join them in any events, collaborate? You know, you never know the opportunities that may come towards you when you start connecting with people. Gigi, Can you relax? She's like burying something in her crate. But yes, you never know what can happen through connecting with people. And I just think it's super helpful putting yourself out there for brand awareness, and then again just having people who you can relate to on some sort of level, and also possibly seek other opportunities. Also, before I forget, I have, because you know, I have my little iPad here. One resource that I did want to share, which I will also link down below, is the Verizon, what's it called, like Verizon Small Business Digital Ready program, something like that. But it's this free program that Verizon has. You don't have to have Verizon. I don't have Verizon, but basically they have courses on there that are actually super helpful. They hand out grants. I'm not sure how often. And then you can also find a mentor on there. I found my mentor back in, I have no clue, the spring of 2024. And she's great. She's super helpful. I definitely did my research. You do have to filter through people, do your research, go on LinkedIn, look them up to see, you know, if they might be of value for you. And I'm so grateful I found my mentor because she's so helpful and I appreciate her so much. And again, this is a free resource, but personally having a mentor, because again, this is my first time. It's my first time having a business, but it's my first time having a business, and I would like someone to kind of help me and bounce ideas off of, who has been within the business industry and knows things, and you know, can keep me on track and grounded. You know, it's not like she's coaching me. She's literally just kind of being a mentor, and again, especially grounding me, because I might be focusing on one thing and overthinking, and she's like, girl, you did a lot, you did that. And I'm like, you know what, Gigi, I'm like, you know what, I did do that. I did, you know. And so it's nice to have someone on my side who's able to give me that energy, especially as a small business owner, because being a solopreneur can get lonely. You're solo, so even, you know, you might not always have someone to talk to about certain things, and so it's just nice to have someone on your side. So definitely check out the Verizon program. Like I said, I'll put that down below, because that could be helpful if you are looking for some more resources and just lots of information on starting a business. And I guess this kind of depends on your business, but also not really. But do not underestimate pop-ups. My first business, I did not do any pop-ups because I was like, oh, I don't have the money for that. I don't know about the location, you know, like I didn't even try to like learn. I was kind of like closed-minded when it came to that. But this time around, I'm like, okay, like yes, having a digital presence is good. Online sales, love them. But when you're not getting online sales and you are new and you're still building that awareness and that community, you can start doing that in person at pop-ups. And this also gives you a chance to learn about your audience and, you know, what do people like, you know, because for me, you know, I have all my products there, you know, and I get to see their physical reactions in real time, like, oh, this smells good, or oh, I kind of like this journal, or, you know, oh, my niece might not want this. These questions might be a little too deep. And so I take all of that into consideration, and I'm grateful because I'm not getting that online. You're not getting it online unless, you know, you see an ad, or I'm sorry, you're running an ad and people are commenting stuff, or someone actually buys it and they, you know, give you that feedback, which does not always happen. So pop-ups for sure are very helpful. You can get a lot of feedback there. Definitely ask questions, ask for feedback. You know, tell people to test certain things and give the backstory, and just try to learn while you're there. I always keep a notepad on me to write down what people say, what people think, and, you know, just a way for me to like figure things out. Also, pop-ups can be another way for you to continue to just, like I said, get more income, and that can help you invest more and all that stuff. And granted, you do have to think about the return. I have only done small pop-ups as of now. I do want to do a really big street market or holiday market or whatever at the end of this year or next year, for sure next year. but I have not done that yet because I was kind of scared of the investment. I'm like, oh my gosh, like $200 is a lot, you know, will I get that? At the time, I was not, you know, making as much as I'm making now at pop-ups, but now that I'm making this much, I'm like, okay, well, it's definitely safe to say I'll be getting my return and breaking even at a big market. So definitely, you know, don't be too scared about doing like big markets and stuff, but start small, learn your product, learn about your audience and everything, and then work your way up to a big market when you feel comfortable. Okay, the next one is to collab, and this kind of goes hand in hand with connecting with people. Collab with UGC creators, the ones that are on the come up, that you can send your product to for free and say, hey, you know, I need some UGC, and I know you probably need to build your portfolio out. So if you'd like to exchange, this would be a great opportunity to do so. I just did that recently, and I think it's great. And even some micro creators who are like, micro influencers who are like somewhat big, they have a decent following, they'll even take it, you know, for free and post on stories and tag your business and stuff. So that's helpful. And plus, you know, you just get out there. So definitely try to collab, even if it's with events as well. I have a lot of ideas and I do want to host more events. So collaborating with people is 100% going to be necessary for me. So one thing to keep in mind. So the next one is not making a decision is a decision. This is honestly a life thing, okay? Not making a decision is a decision. So if you are thinking, if you're nervous to do something and you know, you're just sitting on it and you're just overthinking and you just don't know and you're just going back and forth, your decision has been made. You're gonna stay where you are. That's a decision. Hi. Hello. I'm busy. You know. Can you lay down? Lay down. Come on. Don't bark, please. Don't bark, please. Don't do it. Making a decision is a decision in itself. So, not to say you need to make decisions quickly, but failing fast and learning quick. What is it? Fail fast, learn quickly. That's a good thing. And I did that when starting this business. I went in, I was not ready at all. My first journal was terrible. I had like 20 people who ordered it. I was doing it through like this whole drop shipment thing. Like I hated it, but I learned that I hated it, and I learned what I needed to change with my journal and my messaging, and even with changing my name. Our name was not well lived in August. We did not start off as well lived. We started off as Healing 365, and I just, you know, I was sitting on that decision for a while. It's like, okay, so are you gonna stay like this and continue to feel this way, or are you gonna keep moving forward and make that decision to pivot and market better and differently and all that stuff, which actually goes into my next one, which is that it's okay to change. I don't know if this is the Scorpio projector 3-5 human design profile in me. If you know, you know. If you don't, I can only tell you so much about human design, but it's okay to change. I'm someone who obviously failing is not like fun. No one wants to fail, but I'm like, okay, if I fail, if I mess up, if I redo this, if I start over, it is what it is. I now know, and now I'm gonna do better. That is my outlook, and I feel like that has to be, you know, a mindset when running a business. Nothing's gonna be perfect. You're gonna change, your business is gonna change, the market's gonna change, product's gonna change, and that needs to be okay, because holding on to things that no longer serve you or your audience, there's no longer a demand. What are we doing? What are we doing? You know, it's not good. And I'll say one example. Before I did change the name of my business, and it was Healing 365, that was the name I came up with when this was in like the ideation phase, the phase of me just like dreaming about my business since high school, you know, like, and I was just like, oh, you know, this goes well, so we're gonna do it. And you know, it does fit. You know, obviously healing is very important. You can heal through journaling and all this stuff, but healing is also a very deep topic, and healing is also an infinite thing. You know, we're never going to be done healing. And I would stress that in my message, but there was just something about it that was just not aligned with me, and I wanted to promote like there's lots of negativity that comes with healing. It's like, oh, healing, we're talking about trauma here, you know, this is deep. And I like those conversations, and those conversations are needed, and I still do try to make, you know, a point that we need to have these conversations. But when it came to Well Lived, it's like, okay, it just was a shift into a more brighter outlook, a better you know, mindset, more positive way of looking at healing and, you know, life itself. And so that change needed to happen, especially because when I was marketing with Healing 365, I wasn't feeling it. I was feeling burned out. I felt like I was forcing myself to make captions and create content. Like, I was good for a second, but then after I was like, okay, this kind of sucks. And I'm kind of feeling like this Well Lived, like this is what feels good. And my YouTube name is Well Lived, my TikTok name is Well Lived. So, and those always felt good to me because I was promoting like how to live well, you know, how to feel good and continue healing. So that change needed to happen for us to continue moving forward. And now it is so much easier for me to do things for my business compared to when I was making myself stay in Healing 365, because I was nervous for that change, because I was like, oh, what are people gonna think? But then also it's like, first of all, you took the leap to make the change, which is a very brave, courageous thing to do. Second, you know, they're not the one running your business, you know. But then third, my business is so small now, right now. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make changes. I don't have all eyes on me right now, as if, say if I was like Elf Cosmetics, like if they undergo a change or if they mess up, it's a whole catastrophe, you know. Thankfully, I'm not at that point yet because I'm still learning and applying things. So right now, I know it's the time to make these changes, to mess up, to take action, and you know, I just try my best to do that, and I think you should too. You know, definitely sit on these ideas. Try not to be impulsive, but if you really do feel called to certain things, and you know, and you feel that it's just going to be so much better for you and your business, I say go for it. Because, you know, we have to evolve, and in order to evolve, you have to change and grow, and that's just part of the journey. So I hope you enjoyed this. I don't even know how many tips those were, or, you know, insights, lessons, whatever you want to call them, but I'm ashy. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful and a little bit inspirational for you. If you have any lessons, if you are an entrepreneur, small business owner, or just someone with a brain that wants to share your insights on just like life advice and tips and things you've learned during this crazy course of life, feel free to comment them down below. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram. Check out the other videos of pop-ups and let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you. I hope you continue to live well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.